let's start immediately with Gateway. Do you have any updates?
No updates so far. So.
All right, thank you. Who's here from Shudder? Frederick?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, do you have any news on like the launch, how everything is going, all of that?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, last week, as you might all know, we launched the Shutterized Gnosis Chain. We have around 5% of all validators currently producing blocks. That results in around every three-ish minutes. We had some hiccups in the beginning. One thing which we are currently investigating on is that we have quite some latency until the validator sees the key. So we're investigating. It should be faster, but sometimes blocks are missed because the validator just has a cutoff time where he stops waiting for the key and just produce a block normally. But we are in collaborating with the Nethermind team on that and investigating on our side. Other than that, yeah, we are quite happy with how everything went. In the midterm, we want to stabilize the block production and onboard more validators so that we get faster inclusion times. And work on client diversity together with the Gnosis team, how we can do that.
All right, so talking about client diversity, there's like one thing we talked about at ECC, which is basically this idea of having block builders, like Shudder block builders for other clients, like Erigon, for example. The issue with that is that the decryption keys have to go to someone, right? So this would be either the validator or the block builder. But yeah, it's a bit complicated, as if the block builder gets the keys, then they kind of get access to everything, which is not great. And if the validator or validator client gets the keys, for example, Erigon, then they don't know what to do with them. So they would also need some changes. So maybe we can have like a companion app or something that decrypts transactions and communicates with Erigon somehow with precon for something like that. But yeah, ideas would be welcome about how this could be addressed. But yeah, this is something we can also discuss at, we should discuss at some point, kind of research related. I don't know if someone has some ideas right now.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I was talking and I think I was muted. Yeah, so right now the keys are distributed or like gossiped in a peer-to-peer network anyways. So it's not sent to one specific actor directly. But that is also something we could discuss potentially. In general, the validator is the one who commits to that, and in the future there will most likely be some economic security behind it. So that is when it gets tricky, when it starts to get tricky, because the validator is basically committing his stake, and the block builder is the one who's building it, right? So just to describe the problem a bit more.
Yeah, so yeah, indeed, without encryption of the keys, anyone could technically do the block building, which then kind of solves the issue, I guess.
Yeah, something in that direction.
All right, and then, yeah, we'll have to do some more research about slashing and all of that, but this will be done in a different group. All right, do you have any updates regarding testing?
Yeah, hello. regarding Hive test. We have started improving the Hive Gnosis test to speed up test development and debugging, which is really slow now. Detailed plan for this refactoring has been shared on the Telegram. Those changes will also fix problems with merging from the upstream repository and making it easy to add new tests. And in addition, it will help us to add new clients like Geth. So currently, we with Marcos work on it.
Awesome. Is also any news regarding Ethereum /tests? So the other framework that is not Hive?
From Nethermind side, no updates.
Got it. Thank you. All right. Are there any updates regarding Nethermind in general?
Hi, so I can step in. So mostly recently focused on Shatter for sure. So it involves a lot of our energies right there. But right now, the rest of the team is working on Pectra. So no much updates right now on that. But once we'll have anything valuable, we'll share with you for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. What about Erigon?
So at EthCC, we agreed to add support of Shatter, but we need to find a developer who work on it. So it will probably take us, I don't know, a few months. Well, hopefully not too many, and then we'll add Shatter support to Erigon.
Awesome. That sounds good. All right. Regarding Geth.
Yep. So snap sync on Shadow. I had to rewrite the difficulty code because I did hack it a bit, so it was working fine on mainnet, but on Shadow it was causing some problems. So I did rewrite it. It doesn't completely work in the sense that I do get a stack trace from time to time, but at least the good news is that it does connect to Nethermind nodes, starts downloading the state, starts executing blocks. So yeah, the snap sync part works. It's just that this difficulty rewrite is not completely safe yet. So I'm currently working on that. Yeah, that's pretty much the status. I wanted also to ask, oh, right, so there's two other things. One is that Lion was actually writing me a couple days ago, but I completely forgot to get back to him, so I just did. Sorry about that. And the other thing is, yeah, I'm still trying to understand why, what was the problem with Geth not being able to produce blocks on mainnet. I would really like if whoever witnessed the issue when Geth was trying to produce block and failed could give me logs or whatever. That would be really useful for me to understand if it's really, where the problem is really. But yeah, otherwise I will start investigating this as soon as I can, do the full snap sync of Shadow without a stack trace. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I was the one originally running Geth and validating with it, but that was a few months ago, and I don't have any logs anymore. So yeah, I will try to sync a node again and then run some validators on it, but no promise on ETA at this point. All right, for Wrath, any updates, Ryan?
Yeah, so I have a bunch of open fronts. So let's see. So on the first front, which was trying to do post-merge, I'm stuck because Nethermind. So the plan was, let's test this with a DevNet, where we start at like Bellatrix TTD0. So we should have like the block structure with no extra fields, but since that Nethermind is including these fields. So I put a question on the Gnosis core depths, if you can take a look, that is good. because talking with the Red people, they don't have still really good customizability for properties of blocks going on and off. So we have to figure out how to do that. Meanwhile, I open a PR to their repo because they updated from 1.0 to 1.01, and just updating to this version was a significant, a big diff, a lot of work. So it fears me a little bit about the maintainability of this project, where we have only done like maybe 10% of the code. So the hope is that by doing these examples, if they want to merge it, maybe they can architecture the code in a way that it's not such a big diff whenever they change things. Also, even though you can customize things, there is a significant amount of boilerplate that you have to just copy paste for reasons. So hopefully we can trim that. On the other side, let's see. So for do pre-merge, I was looking at the consensus code from Open Ethereum, which kind of get it. Still not there 100%. I think I would appreciate sometime when I'm done reading that code, just, I don't know, have a call with someone from Nethermind that knows the code to see what do I have to implement and what not, because we don't really need all the aura to produce blocks, only to validate them and do the state changes. So it's not still super clear to me what do I need to bring in, what not. And then that also is blocked with the fact that I cannot add properties. Like I cannot even run Genesis because the hashing, like red hashing of the block is hard-coded on the fields of Ethereum. And you, as of now, so far as I understand, you cannot add like the step and signature field. So we have to figure that out. And that's about it.
Awesome, thank you. And then while you're at it, maybe you want. Oh, sorry, Lucas, go ahead.
Yeah, replied in the Telegram. Yeah, I think this wasn't really spec'd out what should happen there, but if the engine is Aura, I think we added those fields to Genesis, as you said. So yeah, that's basically it.
I guess for mainnet, the first block after the merge, like when TTD is passed, does not have the fields, right? Or does it?
Yeah, it shouldn't.
Okay, so this edge case really only affects DevNet with TTD 0.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So would you be able to change that in Nethermind?
Probably. I can take a look.
Okay, because if changing the block structure in Red ends up being too complicated or not possible, we can try again the post merge strategy. And I mean, something I was thinking about is because it's not that I'm forking the client, I'm just wrapping the client, so I can put whatever logic I want. I can embed like a torrent client inside of Red and do like a two-state sync or something, like fetch the state that way, or whatever snapshot thing they need. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of data, but at least it will be automatic. I think that should be possible. I don't know, optimistic. But otherwise, if we cannot change the block structure, it's kind of dead end.
Okay, we'll check the Genesis when terminal difficulty is 0. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, and then while you're at it, so I think last month or a few weeks ago, we talked about this idea of like gas markets or selling gas futures kind of. So basically a subscription where people could use some predefined amount of gas over some predefined time periods on Gnosis Chain, which you could do with the fee collector contracts. And Line has done the research and a sample implementation. Now we want this to be validated by an economist, which is already partially done, but it would be great to have like a formal verification. But yeah, Line can say a bit more on that side. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was bringing up that the project is a bit stalled at the moment, and we should move it forward. So just to give a status, the project has basically 3 open fronts. So the first front, which is kind of research-ish, is deciding the primary cell mechanism. I think this is the most complicated part and the one that will take the most depth time to research. So there is a group chat called gas markets, and most of the conversation has been around that: how to do this auction and how to price the auctions correctly, because options have 2 prices. So what you are paying for the actual thing, the NFT that you'll get, which that value will be decided by the auction. But then there is a secondary value, which is very important for capital efficiency, which is the strike price. And typically, like in the TradFi world, that gets chosen with an equation. But running that on chain is very prohibitively expensive. Like the project that Thomas was working on around this used ZK proofs on Starknet, and that's why it worked, because you could just do the proof. But I think that's completely overkill. So I don't know. That's still active area of research. What to set the price to? Could be 0, then it's just a constant. For a B0, it could also be, I don't know, the average of the gas price of the last month, and that would be somewhat okay. But yeah, so research on deciding that. Then the second point, which is the one that I think we should quote unquote prove, but it's not proof, maybe just argue that's safe. We are messing with the IP 159 because the point of the change is that the fees are burned. That's the whole point. And we're not going to do that anymore. So we can have a situation where the miners buy the options, and then the protocol is now giving more fees to the miners than it should. And that can be destabilizing. So here is what, I don't know, to what point I'm happy with this. Like if so, I talked with the researchers from the EF that worked on EIP 159 back in the day, and they kind of thumbs up offline that this makes sense if we keep it small. But this is something that would be nice if someone could at least write something justifying that this is safe with the specific parameters that we choose. So that would be avenue number 2. And then 3, if all of these are solved, then we need someone to make this consumable. And that's the part we have to figure out. Who's going to build it? Is it going to be in-house or outside? And decide if people will consume this as a website or, I don't know, just on-chain, whatever. And that's it.
Sorry, what was the third point?
The third point is, if research number 1 is done, research number 2 is done, then execute. So how to consume this thing? Which I think in practice, like the only action that you have to do, well, it will be 2 actions. So you have to buy the option, so interact with the primary cell mechanism, whatever that is. And then the second is send these transactions in the way that you will get a refund, which with my prototype, that just means instead of sending this transaction directly, you calculate the payload and relay it through a contract. So I don't know, here, this is just more like DevX, depending on how people want to use it, but some script or some tool or, I don't know, something to just make this more comfortable.
And this is with paymasters, or was it something else?
No, it's not. We don't use paymasters because there is an incompatibility with the current entry point. So we could have the same format as 4337, but we will need to use a custom entry point. So yes, that's something we can do. So it depends on execution. Whoever does this and demand can be done, but it's not strictly necessary.
Got it. I mean, anyways, this is for in a bit of time potentially. The research has to be done first, right? Okay, so is there anyone on Nethermind that could, well, or anyone here that economically speaking could verify this?
I would guess no.
Yeah, we talked with Finn from Nethermind, but I'm not sure if he
I
could
think
formally do this.
So Finn is contributing to point number 1, and he's pretty knowledgeable there. But point number 2 is quite orthogonal. It's more of people that design the economics of the chain and consensus safety, things like this.
So I guess we will have to find someone for that then. Okay, anything else we need to discuss? Any questions or comments? All right, then, yeah, thanks for joining and see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.